Bonjour et bienvenue à la Perle French Center. In our last lessons, we've learned about the verbs. We talk about the ER verbs, we talk about the IR verbs. And before that, we said that we have three groups of verbs. You have the ER verbs, IR verbs, and the RE verbs. So today, we are moving to the RE verbs, le présent de l'indicatif des verbes en RE, in the present tense of the RE verbs. So let's remind ourselves that RE verbs are verbs that end in RE, and here they have been grouped into 9. The RE verbs have been grouped into 9. So we are going to learn them step by step. In these 9 groups, we have the regular verbs. We have the verbs conjugated like rompre, verbs conjugated like cuire, verbs conjugated like écrire, verbs conjugated like craindre, verbs conjugated like mettre, verbs conjugated like prendre, verbs conjugated like connaître, and the last one, the really irregular RE verbs. So today we are only going to talk about group 1, 2, and 3. And we continue with the rest in our next lesson. Group 1, the regular verbs. To form the present tense of the RE irregular verbs, you remove the ending, which is the RE, and you add, for the je, you add S, for the tu, S, il, and elle, you don't add anything. So you add nothing to the verb. Nous, ONS, vous, IZ, il ou elle, you add ENT. So in this group, you have verbs like attendre, défendre, entendre, fondre, prendre, perdre, prétendre, rendre, vendre, répondre. So these are some regular verbs. Now, let's take one verb, the verb vendre, and conjugate it. You can see the conjugation of vendre. Je vends, tu vends, il ou elle vend. Nous vendons, vous vendez, il, elle vendent. So the ending we have S, S. For il, elle, there's nothing. Nous, ONS, vous, IZ, il, elle, ENT. So for these verbs that you have here, they follow the same pattern to form their present tense. Now let's move to the group 2, which are the verbs conjugated like rompre. And how do you form the present tense of such verbs? So rompre and its derivations are conjugated in the present tense like regular RE verbs. But there's a difference, with one exception. In the third person singular, means il and elle, for the regular verbs you don't add anything. But for these verbs, the ending will be t for the il ou elle, while for the regular verbs you add nothing. But for this one you add t at the end of the third person singular, il or elle. In this verse, for example, we have corrompre, interrompre, and rompre itself. So how do you form the present tense of these verbs? If you look at rompre, je romps, tu romps, il ou elle rompt, nous rompons, vous rompez, il ou elle rompt. The regular verbs, the il, elle, you will not see anything at the end of the verb when you remove the re. But here you can see t at the end of the verb. So this is the only difference between this group and the group 1. There is t at the end of the third person singular. Let's continue to the next one, the group 3, verbs conjugated like cuire. For these verbs also, to form the present tense of these verbs, and here is not only cuire, but let's talk about a group of verbs that end in uire, dire, faire, and lire. They all have these endings at the end. And to form their present tense, you remove the re. You remove the re and add, for je you add s, tu you add s, il, elle you add t, nous you add zon, s-o-n-s, vous you add z, s-e-z, and the il, elle you add z, S-E-N-T. So let's look at this verb, cuire. Cuire, it means to cook. Je cuis, tu cuis, il, elle cuit, nous cuisons, vous cuisez, il, elle cuisent. So this is the present tense of cuire. Now let's look at some verbs in this group. We have verbs like contredire, cuire, frire, déduire, détruire, et conduire, élire, enduire, réduire, reluire, reproduire, séduire, suffire, traduire. So these verbs follow the same rule or follow the same pattern as the verb cuire. So this brings us to the end of our lesson of today. I hope you like it. Share it with your friends, and we are always expecting your comments. But if you want to learn more, go to our website www.laperlefrenchcenter.com. Live class is waiting there for you. See you in the next lesson. Love you.